Day 2 of us getting ready for Durango. The stunt tail is almost done. The back brakes are good. They're not as good as I want them to be, so I have a different master cylinder that we're going to try, but I don't have time to deal with that. I just think that this is a Drag Specialties master cylinder. It's new, we rebuilt it. It just doesn't have that lockout like I want it to. Like, the brakes feel good, but back brakes are your life, so in stunt riding they need to be better. I need to wire up the rest of the wiring underneath the bike for the taillight, and the thing will be done, so I'm going to get that knocked out. Trent is going to go to Ian's to pick up the front fender and the fairing for my stunt bike, because I got to get this thing done today. I got to finish the 100-year today, and then me and Trent both have to prep both of our stunt bikes for Durango, which mine needs a lot of work. Trent has some running issues that we don't even know what that problem is yet that we need to get to, and we'll kind of be going from there. So it's going to be a long day. Like, subscribe, and don't miss it, because if you do, all your friends are going to be talking shit to you. If you're in a pinch and you need your seat to grip up better than it does, HydroTurf and some glue and a map gas torch and a sander and some scissors and some patience. Seat is as done as it's going to get. Trent is assembling the inner and outer primary for this guy right now. Then we got to put one of our lay down license plate brackets, which, do we have a chrome one in stock? Mm-hmm. Thank God we do. And I need to get rid of that tail light, put the quick release stuff on for the sissy bar, get the wiring pulled back through the frame underneath there, get the chrome axles in. We got to swap the front triple trees, which we might do that when we come back. Tomorrow we'll give all the bikes baths. I got to get my bike up on the lift. Got to put some handlebars and a bunch of other shit to it. Fix my rear fender, some other stuff, and we got to get Trent's up and figure out why his is running like shit. See this chrome right here, how it's all ugly? Steel wool. Who would have thought that rubbing shiny shit with steel wool would make it shinier?
If the hardware in your derby cover doesn't go in all the way with your fingers, don't force it. Take it out, clean the hole out, or you're gonna break shit. And then you're gonna call us and be like, hey man, my bolt snapped to my primary. And then I'm gonna say, did you clean out the holes in your primary?
Putting myself between a rock and a hard place. I need to pull all this wiring back to the neck. I need the back wheel out to do it, but I need to jack the front end up and pull the trees off to pull the wiring through the way that I want them to do, so it just turned into a real son of a bitch. Well, I'm gonna start with putting an oil filter on it, because there's not one on there and that shouldn't be open. And then I'm gonna check the fluids, and then I'm gonna come back to this shit storm over here. I'm gonna step away from it for just a second, because it's always building like fancy shit. You're just always one more thing to go. Sorry to interrupt this program of KRUESI Originals, but I just want to talk to you about our Patreon really quick. Patreon is a way to help us create more content that is very expensive for us to create, and we are a small business. So as a thank you to you guys on our Patreon, we're going to be giving away this 2015 Grom. It has 500 miles on it, Olin's, and a bunch of other fancy stuff coming. We're going to build this, and we're going to give it away to one of our lucky patrons. For every $5 you pledge on there, enters you in a chance to win this bike. It's only $5, and you could be ripping around on a pretty dope Grom. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget KRUESIOriginals.com's got the dope shit.
Putting on a KRUESI Originals lay-down license plate. This is the chrome version.
So we are running out of time. Things keep coming up with this bike that I have to do to make it right, and I could probably rush my way through it and get it done tonight, but I don't want to rush my way through anything that I build, especially this guy. It's too pretty of a bike, and I really need to do it properly, so I probably honestly have a couple more weeks on this bike. So right now, it's time to make a change, because I still got to get my stunt bike, like, needs a lot of work. Trent's still working on his. I think he just got done with his. He's got to test ride to make sure it's dialed, and then he's probably going to pop back on this for a little bit. But I got to swap handlebars. I got to set my torque moto bags back up on this, because I want bags on it, because we're going to be doing street rides and shit. And I got to put a front fender mount, front fender, front fairing, fairing mounts. Oh my God, I got a lot to do, and It's almost 3 o'clock. So, will they get it done in time? Biker build off. Here we go. I am running out of gas, folks. Like, subscribe, and tell like 10 friends. Make all my trials and tribulations worth it, please. Hooking up some torque moto bags. I hate having stuff in my pockets when I'm riding, especially riding wheelies and stuff like that. Like just even my wallet and my phone. And it's just nice to have the security of being able to throw my shit somewhere and not have to worry about it. And I can throw my GoPro shit, all that stuff back here, and they're very small and they stay out of the way. They come with like some cloth straps that go back here, but that's like the big ass zip ties better. These are a lot stronger. You want to make sure you got them good and high so they don't sag down into the tire, because I loaded mine full of shit and burned up the inside of mine a little bit. There's no wiring up here. All my switches are down here, and all the electrical's pretty much gone on this bike anyways, and it's pretty reduced down to nothing. So I just got to pull all the shit off the handlebars, throw a new set of handlebars in here, and I'm going to cut the other handlebars down a little narrower than they are stock. So I'll probably do that in the bandsaw first. I don't really like how far this bend comes out. I'm going to cut that shit right off the end. I'm going to cut them to the second line, measure this side to match. Good to go put them in the old bandsawzy. I really thought a couple Smurfs would show up at least. Getting rid of all the electrical is just the greatest thing ever. It's a bitch of a job to do, but once you've done it, you're done with it. They do feel a lot more comfortable, that's for sure. My cables are a little on the tight side, so I'm going to play with this a little bit and see what I can come up with, but it's just the easiest little projects always turn into something. Probably have to cut these bars down again, I think. Just got to sit on it, do a little pretend, Miles. All the time. One finger. So I have like a 10 over clutch spring in this, which is kind of light for aftermarket. Most people run 30s, but I have a 10 over with an extra friction, extra steel Kevlar clutch kit in it. And then I have a Mueller easy pull on this side, which takes 40% of the pull strength out of it. And then I have an Elite Mototech easy pull lever, which takes like another 20 to 30% out. So I've got a big heavy clutch, but you can one finger this thing all day long. I hate this shit. Like this, for just riding a bike, fine. I don't want to use one finger, but stunt riding, like I don't want to be clutching wheelies up and holding on with just 2 fingers. And like you can't be holding on with just 2 fingers and trying to work a clutch when you're drifting, because you're working the handlebars way too hard. So you got to be just, it's all about that one. Bop, 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 bop. And Elite Mototech is the only one out there that makes it right. Doesn't hit my other fingers. That's the key. Now, see if this dude fits, because I ain't getting brake lines for this thing, because these sons of bitches are expensive. If you're on the edge of it, you got a lot more leverage. If you're pulling right here, you got to pull a lot harder. So same with my brake. I'll set my brake in as far as I can, so I'm on the tip. So just like tip, 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 tip. You just got a lot more control that way. It's never a good idea to put a whole new setup on your bike before going to a show. I'm not gonna have any time to try and ride this at all until we get there. And I'm gonna have to go, man, these are great, or I hate these and I should not have done this. I don't think I like them. They feel very tall. I have a Jag 10-row oil cooler with an electric fan set up on it, on a switch up here. And it keeps my bike quite a bit cooler at the lot. Like my bike's not getting hot and rattling and shit and losing oil pressure like normal, because it's 120 degrees out here. It just stays nice and cool. The fan mount that comes with it, the kit stock, is trash. Mine broke, and Trent's broke, and Trent lost his fan. Mine hung on by the wiring that melted to the motor. I took the case off the fan and safety wired it directly to the oil cooler. You guys are about to learn how to plug a hole in a motorcycle tire, because Trent just pulled some burner tire out of a place we get burner tires from, and it's got a nail in it. So he's gonna plug it up, and he's gonna show you guys how to do that right now. You're getting a how-to video. Didn't even know you were chiming in for that shit, and it's like a bonus feature.
This was the screw that was in it. Once you pull the screw out of the tire, I used pliers. Next, you're gonna need these sort of tools here. Many of you might have seen these before. Tire repair kit for pretty much any tire. One of you guys are calling me right now. KRUESI Originals, this is Trent. This guy opens the hole. This guy holds the actual tire plug. Each strip is its own plug. Locate said hole. Really put some weight into it. Really got a worker in there. Tires are tough. And just kind of keep going in and out until she's smooth. Really work her in and out. You know what I mean? Plug strip, plug applicator. Halfway in that guy. Pull that out and shove this one in. Then when you pull this out, in theory, the plug should stay in the tire. So, right there, just like that. And some people cut the excess off. I just do a burnout and it seals it up pretty nice. And you're good to go for about 500 miles or so. I'm just kidding. This isn't for street use. Don't do this and ride your motorcycle. Don't do this and put your lady on the back and go for a ride. This is just to get you to the tire shop to get a new tire. Or if you stunt ride, it don't matter. You're gonna burn the tire off anyway.
Trent's got a flat blown out tire. You think you can do anything cool?
Sorry, I'm not wearing a helmet. Wear your helmets, kids.
All right, I got two bolts. They're both stainless. They're both ARPs, but one is a 6-point, one is a 12-point. So they don't match, and it's a stunt bike. This fairing is not lining up with the fairing mount whatsoever, but I guess that's what you get for $26 shipped on Amazon. Yeah, she's fornicated. Come on, meow. I have to force the shit out of this thing to get it together. That, friends and family, is never a good idea to force it in. Should have test fitted this fairing before I got it painted. I love putting the things back together and taking them apart and putting them back together and taking them apart. Now look at that. She fits beautifully. It just doesn't fit over the headlight bracket. The key to this apparently is assembling this. God damn it, then how I gotta get it up and over that shit. 26 bucks, ladies and gentlemen. I think I got her figured out for the most part. Got a fender mount from Gigastat, I think is what it's called. They make inverted front ends. This isn't their inverted front end, but this is the same kind of fork legs that they use. It's gonna be a little tight on the tire, I think, maybe. That's gonna suck. I'm gonna get everything like loosely bolted up. And then I'm gonna start snugging things down in whatever sequence makes it move the way I want it to move. Well, it's quitting time, and I'm still working on this fender bracket. It is not the best fitting, that is for damn sure. But I'm trying to make it fit the best that I can anyways. I had to shim this side out like a 1/16 of an inch just to get a little bit of clearance for the tire, which if I ran a normal like 100 tire, that would be fine, but I run a 110 up front. Big fat Shinko, they grip up really good for doing like front brake stuff. So it kind of puts me in a bind. Hopefully this is the last time I bolt this up. I feel like saying that I'm just really screwing myself over no matter what. And you guys just missed Trent about dumping a motorcycle off the lift over there. It was pretty wild.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Me drop a bike? Never. I also just found out that Britney Spears had a sister. Never
Yeah. Who remembers Zoe 101?
Not this guy. Does Team Nick still exist? Man, I used to love Nickelodeon when I was a kid. Nickelodeon, Eureka's Castle.
Were they black and white?
No. They were on a cave wall with a lantern and some hand signals. Not an ounce of respect.
Were they silent cartoons in black and white?
Yeah. They were actually acted out by people because animation didn't exist yet.
Yeah. I'm 30. These guys are like 50.
Okay, tight. Tight like a tiger. Holy shit, Trent, come look at this.
Bolts are out of it. That happened the last time too.
Yeah.
Did you ever tighten it up after I
No, I
pointed
did
it
with my
out?
fingers. Shit's been falling off my bike actually. One of my mounts, my motor mount on my Big Bear fell off. Me and Bruce were like drifting together real tight in a circle. And we're like nose to nose, yada da da. And as I'm drifting, I look down, there's like some shit laying on the ground, some fresh looking pile of hardware. I'm like, what is that? We got done, we stopped, and I was looking at it a little more. I was like, that's my motor mount. It just fell my bike. I finger tightened her back up in the parking lot and kept on riding for the day, but I did that to this too and forgot about it. It was nice. Make a little bit of noise a lot on Sunday. That sounds like something that's good shit right there. I'm gonna go get a stethoscope and listen to it and find out right where it's coming from, but that sounds pretty bad. Every time I go to Colorado, that's all it is. I blew the motor up 2 times, both times in Colorado. And now here we are, going to Colorado again. She's shitting bed on me. It's 6 o'clock at night. I gotta tear this thing apart and see what's wrong with it now. So on that absolute disappointment, I'm gonna end this episode. I'm Ryan KRUESI, this is KRUESI Originals. Tune in, maybe I'll make it to Durango with one of my bikes. I'm shit out of luck on 2 of the ones that I wanted to take now so far. I might just be riding the monkey around all weekend. Wait up, guys! Like, subscribe, ring that bell, KRUESIOriginals.com. Peace!
Hi, I'm Jay with Law Tigers Motorcycle Attorneys. We're based out of Phoenix. We've been a partner here in the motorcycle industry for over 20 years. We're personal injury lawyers. I should say we're the only personal injury lawyer in the United States. And we're good at what we do, and we have great partnerships like KRUESI Originals. We do a lot of events, and ultimately we help injured riders get back to riding once they get hurt.